Greetings everyone, welcome to Advance. We are continuing with our saga of Candidates 2024, and here we are covering all the games of Gukesh and also all the other spectacular games as well. So this is another such game. With the white pieces we have the current reigning world champion, we have Gukesh D, and with the black pieces we have Ian Nepomniachtchi, and this game is going to be one epic match because at this time this is the future world champion with the white pieces playing against the world championship challenger. So this is going to be one epic matchup, and here Gukesh with the white pieces starts with d4. We have knight to f6, c4, e6, and just going for g3. This is the Catalan opening. We have d5, bishop to g2, and just c5. So now just going for c captures, knight captures, and just knight to f3, and just c captures. And if you choose to go for knight captures, then just bishop to b4 check. Here just knight d2, queen to b6, and here after queen cap, going for a move like a3, queen caps on d4, a captures, castles, queen to b3, and most likely the game would transpose into something like this, where most likely it would end in a draw. But still, there are a lot more chances, a lot more things. It could go anyone's way. But here after c captures, we have castles. Now just going for bishop to c5, knight caps on d4, castles now, knight to b3, attacking the bishop, bishop moves, and just finally going for e4, pushing the knight out of the way. But just knight to b4 was played by Jan, and here just knight to c3. And in this position, if you decide to trade queens, it would be a bit too early, because here after rook captures, you play knight 8 to c6, a3, pushing the knight back. But you don't have any squares and you don't want to move to a passive square, so you could go for a move like knight to c2. Rook needs to move, rook to d8, asking for a rook trade. But if you trade more pieces, most likely the game would end in a draw. So here bishop to d2, but still most likely this game is still going towards anyone's way. But white is the one here pushing, and this knight seems like it's a bit trapped, but not really. I mean, it could go it could go back here whenever it wants to. So here in this position, after knight to c3 or knight 8 to c6 was played, just bishop to e3, we have queen captures, rook captures, and just going for knight to e5. And here just a3, pushing the knight back, knight to c6, f4, and where do you move the knight? Knight to c4 was played, attacking the bishop. Bishop moves to c1, and here just f6, and we have rook f to e1. And in this position, if you decide to play a move like a6, which seems like a passive move, h3 comes, rook to d8, asking for a rook trade. You play knight to d5, a beautiful piece sacrifice, or it seems like a piece sacrifice, because here just e captures, but now you have e captures. And in this position, if you go for a move like knight 6 to a5, the thing is that here just comes knight captures on a5, and after knight captures, here there is a rook captures, and you just get back the sacrifice piece. You go knight to c4, rook to c7, attacking the knight. Knight goes to d6, stopping this pass pawn pushing. And here just bishop to d2, just re-maneuvering the bishop there, and you can see that the game is going to be looking very ugly for black. White is the one pushing, and black is going to be absolutely crumbled. So not going for anything like that. So here rook f to e1 was played, rook to b8, just going for all calm moves. Here bishop to f1, knight to d6, and just knight to b5, asking for a knight trade. Knight captures, bishop captures, and here in this position just king to f7. So the position is looking very, very nice for white. I mean, the rook pair is absolutely amazing. And here this is move 20, and the rooks are still not connected for black, and it looks like it's bad news. For most part it would have been as well, but the thing is that there is no clear way on how to actually push in this position to try and get a win. But here just bishop to e3 was played, just developing the bishop. We have a6, pushing the bishop back, bishop to e2, and just b5. So here what do you even do in this position? If you choose to go for a move like bishop to f3, targeting that knight that is undefended, most likely what will happen is just bishop to b7, just fiend getting that bishop. Here just e5, opening up center, rook f to c8, and just rook to d7. Rook to d7 is a beautiful move in this position, just getting the rook inside black's position and saying that, well, what do you have in this position? King to e8, you play rook captures on b7, a beautiful exchange sacrifice, because here after rook captures, now you go for this knight to d4. And now if you capture here, then just bishop captures, and you can understand you're just I'm just recapturing the exchange that I gave back. Rook to d8, bishop captures on d4, rook captures, and here I'm just going to be gobbling up these pawns. I'm going to be creating and turning these pawns into pass pawns. And even if you're able to capture anything, first I capture on center, after bishop captures, then I capture there, and yeah, the position would be completely amazing for white, and white is the one that's going to be pushing. But here after b5, we have knight to c5 immediately. But the thing is that here rook to d8, rook captures, bishop captures, and here rook to c1. The more pieces you trade, the more game goes into a draw. And here bishop to b6 was played, attacking the knight, and here just king to f2. Bishop captures, and here bishop to b7, fiend getting that bishop, but just king to e3, getting the king into the game, because king is an important piece in the end game. Here rook to d8 was played, but now just comes bishop to b6, attacking the rook, rook to d7, and finally just asking for a rook trade. If you trade, the game is most likely ending in a draw, and Jan agrees for a draw here, because here just rook captures, bishop captures, g6 now, but just bishop to c5. Both pairs are still going to try. Here h5 was played, but if you go for a move like bishop to d6, which makes a lot of sense because you have the bishop pair, e5, bishop to b3 check, king moves, and bishop to g8, trying to here harass these pawns and most likely trying to win those. But here just bishop to c8 would be a very very important move. And here after bishop to d5, now you just go for this, and you can see that with the bishop pair you are covering a lot of squares. I mean, a lot of ground is being covered, and in this position most likely you can try and push, but mostly this game would end in a draw. But it's still, I mean, just trying to push for a win in this, but both pairs are very much inclined to go for a draw. So here after h5 we have b3. Now just come bishop to c8, a4, e5 now, but here just a captures, and f5 was played, and king to g7, f captures on g6, bishop to g4, just going for this bishop to c2, not trading more pieces, bishop to e6 was played, king to d2, and just b4. And this game is now a dead draw. There is nothing you can do here. Bishop to d1 was tried, but just king caps on g6, and it was on this move, on just move 40, that both pairs agreed to a draw. But you must be thinking, why did the both pairs agree to a draw? You still have the bishop pair. Well, the thing is that it's 3 against 3 towards the king side, 1 against 1. Well, I mean, black cannot push with the knight and the bishop, and bishop pair. White is the one who can try to push, but it's just very difficult. I mean, you cannot move the bishop there because bishop is constantly eyeing that. You cannot move it here because this captures, and it can get the king into the game, and there is no way you could be able to do anything. And I'll just gobble up the pawn. That would be completely winning. So all you have to do is move the king back and forth, and that would be basically ending in a draw. So that's why both players just here agreed to a draw. So this was the third match. First match, Gukesh played against Vidit, went for an early draw. Second match, Gukesh played against Prague, and he was able to actually get a better position and was able to convert that to a win. And now he drew against Ian Nepomniachtchi, so he's 2 out of 3, and it's definitely going Gukesh's way. Let's see what he's able to conjure up in round 4, and I'll be covering that game as soon as possible as well. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.